What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today we are going to talk about Storybook Brawl, a card-based auto-battler that is made by a bunch of Magic the Gathering pros. My recording cut off the first battle, but we are going to be playing this brawl with Peter Pants, who starts at level 3 and never levels up. So I already have a dwarf support card, and I'm going to pick up a doubly, which you wouldn't normally be able to pick up on the second turn. So this board is going to be pretty powerful, and I am going to lock my shop because it does have a double support for those baby roots there. Just showing off the other heroes that I am going to be playing up against. We tied our first battle, actually, so neither myself nor my opponent took any damage. They just had a different 2-2. But I've been having a lot of fun with this game, so I do think that I'm going to be streaming it in the future alongside Hearthstone Battlegrounds. We've got another tie here. And I just wanted to show off this win because, yeah, the game winds up being pretty sweet. Definitely don't want a good princess here, considering Peter Pants cannot level up. You do get +1/+1 every time on all of your minions in the shop, every time that your character would level. So every 3 turns with a cap. It's not super relevant in terms of how you want to think about the character, but it does mean that something like doubly is getting +2/+2 every time that you see it in the shop. So those bonuses can add up for sure. I am going to lock this shop here. I guess I want the pig. Not sure exactly. But a 5/11 doubly, that is going to be good enough to take out my opponent's whole squad there. So that should be enough to carry us for a little bit. And I guess now, I mean, I could take another dwarf or something. Again, not exactly sure why I locked it. I recorded this game maybe about a week ago, but I wanted to do some commentary on it and throw it together for YouTube just to kind of talk about the game a little bit. Yeah, gonna bring my ranged unit to the back. Not exactly sure. I mean, the pig is probably just going to die here, but we'll at least have a little baby root in the front there. And let's see, am I going to be able to, yeah, that works fine. There's no real way to get it. Like, I want my doubly to be attacking first, but I also want my ranged unit in a good position. So it's a little bit awkward. But that's one of the fun parts of Storybook Brawl, is kind of the puzzle of how you're going to situate all of your units and things in there. So it does look like I am probably toast in this one, but my ranged unit, okay. Oh, no, yeah, we're still good. We are able to take out their Humpty Dumpty because they hit our baby root there instead of hitting our ranged unit. So we were able to win that combat. And now, like I said, this doubly in the shop is a 3/3, so we can pick that up. And I'm just going to pick up 2 different doubles on this one. So now I've got 3 pairs at the moment: my pigs, my roots, and my doublies. And my board is looking pretty powerful with that dwarf support that I took. Now I've got a 7/13 and a 5/11. All right, we do lose both of our pigs here, unfortunately, to some pretty bad hits for us. But we are going to be able to win the battle, so we give my opponent some gold, but we also give them 7 damage to the face. Now, one of the strengths of Peter Pants is that you should be able to upgrade your characters with a little more frequency, because you are only seeing characters from levels 2 and 3. So I'm going to grab some Prince Arthurs here, And Prince Arthurs are pretty good if you are going to be upgrading a bunch of the units that you do grab. That's definitely something that can scale into the late game and be pretty good for you. So I'm actually going to lock this shop too, because I'm thinking if I can get this upgraded Prince Archer, then I can, or Prince Arthur, yeah, Prince Archer, really. If I can get the upgraded Prince Arthur, then I can do, I can have this range unit continue to get upgraded as well. I think about moving my units, but then I decide I really want all of the bonuses on the doublies. Was just thinking about if I wanted to try to maybe make my pigs more likely to survive so I could get some more gold into the future. But that's not going to be super necessary. We're just going to go for some big doublies and some 410 pigs. I mean, I think my board is pretty strong right now for where we're at in the game, and we have another battle against Average Mage. That was the one that the video cut out at the beginning, so we'll see how that goes. We are probably going to lose a piggy here. Let's see if that can attack a doubly. Okay, we actually keep both of our pigs. So that is a pretty huge battle. 10 damage to our opponent, 2 extra gold to start this one, or 4 extra gold to start this one. Oh, do the pigs give 2 extra gold each? Okay, forgot about that. I can grab some good witches, a pair of those if I want, or I can just keep rolling and try to find a triple, an upgrade of something that I already have. Blind Mouse is also pretty decent in Peter Pants because it's one of the only ways to get upgraded treasures. So the way that this game works, if you haven't already seen it, is that when you... Oh, there we go, swapping out Baby Root for different dwarf support here. Going to think about my positioning, but we'll see if I change that up or not. Either way, can only get the dwarf support on 2. So we're about to see how upgrading in this game works as I take the ranger here. When you upgrade a unit, it does get additional stats, and then you get a treasure corresponding to the level of the unit that you upgraded. So we have the option to pick between Runestones, Dancing Sword, and Lock Chest. So I'm going to go for Runestone, which is the other way when playing Peter Pants to get higher level treasures. And I was halfway through buying there, so I kind of messed myself up. But I'm kind of transitioning. My board is half dwarfs and then half Prince Arthurs here. And it's going to be decently fine. We are going to lose this fight because our ranger did not get a chance to attack. With slightly better positioning and potentially with my second Prince Arthur on the board. I tried to buy that blind mouse before the turn was over. I tried to buy a pair of blind mice, but I just wasn't quick enough. So that one is definitely on me, but we are going to get another upgrade here, and that is an upgrade on Prince Arthur. Now, when I buy that, because I got that rune as my last treasure, this time I'm actually going to get a tier 4 treasure from the shop. So that will be even more powerful. And the Dwarven Forge here is pretty tempting because it's going to immediately allow me to combine both of my other items and that's on the board. So I'm going to grab a locked chest, and then I believe I'm going to go with the Telltale Quiver because I do have that ranged unit already. And that will just continue to pump that up, and then maybe I could get more of them or something like that. Oh no, I am going to go for the Merlin's hat here. So now doubly is a 17-17 because it's become a triply, and that's going to be pretty good for us here. I could do with some slight reordering potentially to get doubly to have a whole bunch more stats, but 17-17 is still pretty good. And now Prince Arthur is going to be giving +4/+4 to my archer permanently every turn. As well, I will be it will be giving +4/+4 to itself. So that winds up being really good synergistically and quite powerful there. As you can just see, my units are definitely outscaling my opponent at this point, but that's kind of one of the things with Peter Pants, is that it will be pretty good in this stage of the game where everyone is a level 3. Some of my opponents now are level 4. As you can see, I would technically be level 4 as well. We can grab a dwarf here, and this will also be upgradable because now I only need 2 dwarfs to upgrade and get a treasure. So that's allowing us to get some treasures a little cheaper here potentially. So I guess I'm going to go for the Sting. None of these treasures are particularly powerful, and I am going to toss the Dwarven Forge now. It's done enough work for us, and you can see I've got a 47-17 triply. That +10 attack is turning into +30 attack onto doubly. But even having said that, it's probably better for me to consider putting my other dwarf in the first position, because it does have a last breath, which is a death rattle or on dying trigger that it creates a minion in its wake. But I am just going to go for the 47-17 triply because that seems sweet enough for right now. And now both my upgraded Prince Arthur and my upgraded Sherwood are getting +6/+6 permanently at the beginning of each combat. So those bonuses are definitely going to start to add up. And this is a strategy that I can definitely endorse if you are playing Peter Pants, because you are going to see just a lot of these Prince Arthurs, as you'll see during this game, or could potentially see in the thumbnail of this video. But this strategy is going to revolve pretty heavily around Prince Arthur and just abusing that as much as possible and putting in some good work there. So my Sherwood's still doing pretty good work in the back lane there as a 21-19 ranged unit. Pretty good stuff. Crafty's decent for just like a decently statted unit, but I think I am going to just continue to roll here and look for some princes and some princesses. So I think that is basically the plan from here on out. The sooner I can get some more princes and princesses into this thing, the better. And my treasures can still do a little bit of work this turn as well. So here I do switch out the Tripoli, and then I just decide to throw Prince Arthur there instead, because basically making use of that sword, you can just use a cheaper unit or a weaker unit, and then with 10 extra attack, 16 total attack, it'll pretty easily be able to trade with something. I am going to snag another Prince Arthur, and I'm not sure if I will be able to, I just am not able to put that in time, but that's going to be fine. And then I grab that finger spell there, which is going to give me a bonus minion that I'll be able to make use of on the next turn. So definitely taking some damage here, but the way that all those things were attacking, that attack was a little bit unlucky. But okay, not the best attacks, but not like the worst ones either. Those front lane creatures took a while to trade off, but the fact that I had the front lane creature meant that my ranger was protected, and all of that was good. So treasure map is really good here. As much as I'd like the fancy pants with the Peter Pants, treasure map is really good with Peter Pants. So now I can look for instance, another Prince Arthur, or I could have also looked for another pig there, but I decided that I wanted to get rid of my pigs so that I could buy that guy on the cheap. I think I am going to wind up selling off the crafty now. I could also sell off my dwarven support, but I'm going to sell off the crafty just to find another archer, and we'll do a little reordering there, so that way Triply gets more of the bonus that he deserves. But what I really want to find right now is another Prince Arthur, because that will allow me to get a level 5 treasure, which is definitely cheating the system when you are dealing with Peter Pan. So passing up some free spells there, mostly just concerned with looking at the shop. And I think I'm just going to spend my time doing some rolls, just kind of thinking about all of this through for the first time. I'm going to go and sell one of my dwarf supports just so that I can get another Prince Arthur on the battlefield as soon as possible. And now my upgraded Prince Arthur as well as my archer are both getting +8/+8 a turn. And that scaling, like I said, is going to just be super important as we're able to kill somebody there. But our opponents are eventually going to be able to outscale us. Now, we only have a few more opponents left, but my opponents are now able to start grabbing 6-drops and things like that. So I want to make sure that we are just taking those threats seriously. I'm going to switch into a good support. I definitely don't need any XP. Just taking the time to read all the spells here. Like I said, this was one of my first games with Storybook Brawl, so I didn't quite know all of the cards just yet. Yeah. Oh, and I think that was a pretty big mistake, because if I had grabbed the good support there instead of the archer, then I would have been able to grab a level 5 treasure. So yeah, that ordering was definitely awkward, and I wind up getting a little bit punished for that by not getting like the exact great stuff. But now we will take the telltale quiver and siding out the Merlin's hat, and I think I should probably just put the Triply in the front. Yeah, okay, so that is what I wind up doing. So now I've got a 35/5, so that winds up being able to deal a little bit of damage. But the important thing here is both of my archers are going to be getting +8/+8, and then my upgraded Arthur is going to get +8/+8. And if I can find another Arthur, then that'll start getting bonuses as well. And we'll be able to outscale opponents like Cam here, the Krampus. So, yeah, opponents are going to have better units than you with better effects, and they're also going to have better treasures. As you can see, my opponent's treasure is doing some work this game, but the scaling on our archers is going to be enough to allow us to pull through. I don't really think that we want anything at this point other than more Prince Arthurs. I mean, we could potentially want to try to get some other princes and princesses, but none of them are particularly great. Romeo you can get, but you can't get Juliet, and that is one of the tricks of playing Peter Pants and trying to make him work. So we'll see what we are able to make work this game. Cinderella, I think about that. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I could cast 4 spells, and that would be a way to get an upgrade, because I know I can cast this Sugar and Spice here on my upgraded Prince Arthur. I think it's probably going to just be a little bit slow to try to do something like that. And I am going to go ahead and grab these crafties here, and just sneak in one more roll rather than pick up the archer. Crafty's pretty good at this point in the game to grab an upgraded crafty. Then it's getting +6/+6 for each of your treasures, so plus 18, plus 18. It's not going to scale, but the game is almost over, and it's just a big unit, so it's something that I could sub in for like my 6/6 Prince Arthur on one of the final fights, just to make my team a little bit stronger. Like I said, I am planning on streaming Storybook Brawl in the future, and as well I will probably upload some highlight videos and things like that to YouTube. So if you are enjoying this video and you think this game is cool and fun to watch me play it, make sure to hit that subscribe button and check out future videos and future things I got going on. Gonna be playing some of this, some of Storybook Brawl, and I will probably also be dabbling a little bit in some SoulForge as well. But you can catch me live at twitch.tv/NoLucksGiven, and you can also hit that subscribe button down below on YouTube to catch the next video. So we are going to lose our entire front line here. That was a pretty good hit for our guy to survive, or our girl to survive at 1 health there. But the Rangers are going to be really good. The fact that I just took out that like 40 power minion and survived, yeah, that's pretty great for us. We're going to be able to win that fight with our Rangers still intact. So all that is pretty great, and I think I would love to find another Prince Arthur, and we actually get a Brave Princess, and I believe that is from our treasure. So kind of an interesting thing there. Our treasure, which I don't remember the exact wording on it now. I could go back and look, but it gives us one of our opponent's things, I'm pretty sure. And we got an upgraded black cat on like the previous turn, and now this time we get an upgraded prince, which is pretty good. None of these look particularly exciting. Yeah, get an exact copy of the first enemy character that dies each brawl. So I'm going to throw away the Gloves of Thieving, even though it just did decent work for us there, and we are up against Krampus again. But now everything is still getting +8, but... Oops, are we still here? Did I lose my camera? I don't know why I lost my camera. Because I still... Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Well, that aside, yeah, now everything basically, except for my Tripoli, because that is not a prince or princess. We are going to lose this fight, unfortunately, but we have the camera back, so everything is good. But yeah, everything except for my Tripoli and then also my good support are going to be getting +8 a turn, and that's what I was talking about. Is I do think that we will need this scaling. Pick up a cat call. I think that is pretty good at this point in the game, and I think I can put in Prince Arthur for Tripoli. Yeah, I think that is a good play as well. Basically, I want to... so the cat call, when your front row dies, you replace it with a bunch of 1/1 cats, and that will hopefully allow us to use our ranged characters a little bit more. So I think I'm going to take the jumping bean here, or I might just skip. You also have the option to just not take any of the treasures and just get 2 additional gold. Yeah, so I do just go for the 2 additional gold. Am I going to put it to use? There is another ranger out there. Okay, and I do decide to put in the crafty, and I take out my good support. Yeah, that's a better order for them for sure. And I will probably just pick up this archer here before... No, I didn't see it. That's fine though. But yeah, everything getting +10 now hopefully is enough to scale. Apologies for my camera issues here. I think that the cord is just getting a little bit loose. But my opponent also takes a cat call here. So you can see how that is working for them. It replaces the entire front line with cats. That is pretty good with their treasures as well. But that's going to give us some pretty good defenses. It is going to be, yeah, we'd really like to try to hit that Oni King before it attacks, but we are able to get rid of their ranged unit, and then they trade with us, and then we are able to take them down. So 6 damage to my opponent, that's good. Both of us found a cat call that turn, but we're both scaling, we're both figuring it out. I think I will now take this Shore Shot eventually. No? Do I still not take it? Maybe I don't take it. This dwarf, as you saw, isn't that great. Any like upgraded unit is basically going to scale faster than that dwarf. Let's see if I can, yeah, it was just the cord came undone a little bit. Let's see. Am I back? I am not yet back. All right. And I'm back. Alrighty. So let's take a look here now. Sorry, getting distracted right as the battle is getting good. We did lose one of our ranged units, but my opponent's got some good things going on for sure. They picked up a Dryad in the back, and they got some just good backlane units. We are actually just going to trade this brawl, and neither of us is going to take any damage. But like I said, I think that this is all good for us now. I missed the fact that the unit that I just upgraded was another Arthur, and now eventually I'm going to take some more archers here. So now I know that Archer is the last unit that I want in my backline, and basically just have to look for that at this point. And now all of my units, all of them, are getting +12/+12 each brawl. So even though some of these are pretty close, that is pretty incredible scaling, and I think that that is definitely the power of Peter Pants. Don't really need any of these mid-tier spells. That is one of the other awkward parts about Peter Pants, is that you also never find upgraded spells. So definitely locking this shop with another Ranger. We'll be able to slot that in and make that work. I switch my princess there to the front, but then I realized that I no longer have the +10 attack treasure. So that is not going to be super useful to us. So yeah, what my opponent's got basically going on is that whenever an evil creature dies, they've got some things in the back that are growing, and then whenever monsters attack, they get +10 as well. And then that Dryad says whenever anything gets a bonus, the Dryad gets the bonus as well. So they wind up having decently sized minions at the end of combat, but we have decently sized minions at the beginning of combat. So that is a huge swath of damage right there. And let's see if I can get another good treasure. At this point, I don't think Book of Heroes is going to be super useful for us, but I am going to go ahead and take it. Honestly, it was probably wrong to do so because this will probably just be the last fight. But I'll swap that out, and there's not really anything that I'm looking for at this point. I think I could have probably rolled and tried to grab a cat call, but at this point, I think we are doing okay. I could grab and put in a Prince Arthur, and I don't think I put this Prince Arthur in, but it would give everything plus 2/2, so it is actually like 12 extra worth of stats, and that does add up. But because this is probably going to be the last battle, I'm just going to keep in my 52, 51, or whatever it was, my questing Brave Princess that I got for free. So the Poison Apple this time hits an Archer, which is good for us as long as our Archer doesn't get pinged, but it does die to that swath of 8 damage. So it's fine. It's fine. One of our Archers has to die at some point. But you can just see even a catcall really would not have helped. Our board is just so big right now that there's no way that my opponent is getting through those King Arthurs. And that's how you play Peter Pants. The fact that you are only seeing level 2 and level 3 units just makes it so much easier that you will be able to find doubles of all of those things, and just allows you to snowball by picking up a bunch of Prince Arthurs. Obviously, there's other ways to play Peter Pants as well, but I found a lot of success with this strategy, and like I said, this was only one of my first games playing Storybook Brawl, but I had a lot of fun, and I've been having a lot of fun playing it off stream, just casually, mostly just against the practice AI as I learn a bunch of the cards, which is only going to make me stronger when I do eventually decide to stream it. So make sure to follow along to both Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. I guess not both, all three. And then I'll be posting some more Storybook Brawl content in the future. That's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.